Hello my fellow gardening gals and guys, welcome back to my channel, Serenity Now Garden. My name is Jeannie and I garden in the zone 4B. So I'm doing a garden tour today. This is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll put the link in the description or also put a card up above. So we're just in the beginning of August. I have a few things blooming. I think my yard looks pretty good right now. So I'm going to take you through my side yard, which is half of a rock garden, half partial sunbed. There's a little bit of shade, and then my backyard, which I'm slowly planning up after a bunch of buckthorn removal. So I hope you guys like it. Please give me a thumbs up if you like garden tours, and we'll see you soon. Take care. All right, welcome friends to my garden. So this side garden here that I'm going to take you down was just put in a year ago. So all the plants are pretty small. We have some proven winners limelight, little lime hydrangeas on the right, so those stay a little more compact. And we have Diablo 9 bark as a hedge on the left. And there's some clematis going up the arbor, but they're not blooming right now. So we have a rock garden here on the right. Let me show you pictures of what it looked like last year when I first started. I just started carving it out and building it up, and here's where we're at now. So yeah, it's really new. If you guys want to see a full tour of the rock garden, I kind of made a video that's just kind of like set to music, kind of relaxing. I will put a card here, and I'll also put a link in the description. But right now I'm just going to kind of take you a little bit faster through the rock garden here, and then I'm going to slow down on the other side with all the plants. So there's just sedum, sempervivum, succulents, moss. There's even some mini hostas. So there's a little dianthus, some fescue, some euphorbia, some blue spruce sedum, some sea pinks. Yeah, so if you guys want to see each plant, just click on that video and I'm going to take you on a little tour on the other side here. So this is Atlantis sedum. Isn't this gorgeous, you guys? The variegation on this is just, it just really stands out, and it matches the colors on this zebra iris. Now these didn't bloom this year. I don't know if I've planted them too deep or maybe they're just too new, but we'll see how that goes next year. So let me just show you on the other side here. These are some summer drummer alliums that are already spent, but I just like to keep the spent blooms on there because I still think they look cool, but they used to be light purple. This is a dwarf jade butterfly ginkgo. So look at the leaf structure there. Aren't those leaves awesome? I got this for my birthday last year and I just love it. All right, so let me kind of show you some of these plants. Like right behind this ginkgo here is Proven Winners Laced Up Black Elderberry. So this is the columnar black lace elderberry that just gets about 6 feet tall and about 2 feet wide. I got 2 of them on this side and 2 of them on the other side of those hydrangeas. Just behind that we have Proven Winners Serendipity Allium, and look at, there's bumblebees on that. They really attract the pollinators. I love alliums of all kind. They're just super easy plants, drought tolerant, rabbit and deer resistant. There's another laced up elderberry. Yarrow. My yarrow looks kind of sad this year, you guys, because the rabbits keep eating all the blooms off. Now I have 2 quickfire hydrangeas. These are like the lace cap. They're just so like dainty looking. They don't hold a bunch of water and droop when it rains, so that's nice. But yeah, these will get 8 feet by 8 feet. I'm trying to create a hedge through here. We took out a ton of buckthorn back here, and we kind of lost a lot of privacy. So this will kind of like form a pretty hedge. So yeah, that's the quickfire hydrangeas. Those will get like a little pink. These yarrow blooms are just kind of on their way out. Those are the only ones that survived the rabbits so far. And on the other side, same thing. It's the 2 laced up black elderberries. These are smaller because they don't get as much sun, but we'll see how those do in the years to come. Serendipity allium. And we have, I believe this is called a spellbound sedum. These blooms will be like a dark pink. So those will open in the next month here. I'll do a What's Blooming Wednesday so you guys could see those. These are two nanny berries, also called Viburnum lentago. So these will get 10 by 10. So these will create a nice privacy hedge as well. They probably won't get that big since they get a lot of shade there, but I'm hoping. This is Sweet Kate Tradescantia or spiderwort. Not blooming right now. More of that same sedum. I'm going to show you, I'm going to touch on a few of my favorite hosta here. That was just a Maui buttercup that you saw. But I will put a card right here to a hosta video that I just did where I kind of showed you a little tour of my favorites. This is one of my favorites, Abaquid drinking gourd. And that's First Frost. These are just first year plants here, guys, so they're tiny. And my favorite shade plant, it is a Sun King Aurelia. Pops from a mile away. We got a few more hosta down there. And we got a little island of hosta and stilbe that have already bloomed. Now it's hard to believe this is all buckthorn back there. There's some aspen trees lining the back, but we own like another half acre on the other side of that, or a little less than a half acre. And the side yard here, let me put in a picture of what it used to look like. That was all buckthorn. I mean, it's gorgeous and it provided great shade, but it was really invasive and it was really bad for the environment and the wildlife. So we took it all out. We put a bunch of viburnum in. They're small. It's going to take years to get there, guys, but I got to be patient. This is a Montana Areomadronata, and that is a annual salvia. They're okay. I probably won't plant those again. I just got them on sale. And right in front, well, there's a hosta on the right. On the left, there's an All That Glitters, Proven Winners, Arrowwood Viburnum, and just behind that is a native elderberry. And this is an elderberry here too. Pyracantha. And that is a Sombrero Salsa coneflower. I got that from Home Depot for about 10 bucks. And this is a powwow wildberry coneflower. I just needed some color over here. This is a part shade, or part sun, I guess you can call it. And another native American elderberry that gets white flowers and it spreads and gets some blackberries in the fall. So that can get 10 feet tall. I just want that to kind of take over this area. We have a lot of spent astilbe. Look at this back here. My favorites are the Sun King Aurelias. They really make this corner pop. Just behind it is, oh, just more elderberry and some goldenrod, just natives. I'm trying to fill this area up. The astilbes, unfortunately, are brown, but I'm trying to add some more color. Slowly but surely. And we have some chocolate chip ajuga as ground cover on the bottom there. It's really pretty next to the Sun King Aurelia when it blooms. That's a Blue Angel house I just planted, so that'll get big. This is a First Love Veronica. It's a pink Veronica. I could deadhead that soon, but pollinator magnet, you guys, and it loves moisture too. So if you want to attract some pollinators, get some Veronica. And some phlox that'll end up getting 3 or 4 feet tall and wide. This is just like a lavender color, very pretty. Can't wait till that fills in that hole. And in the center, it's not blooming right now, but that's Delphinium grandiflora. That's like just more of like a diffuse Delphinium. Calamintha. This is a pollinator magnet too, guys. Isn't it pretty? It kind of reminds me of Diamond Frost Euphorbia, but this is a perennial. Comes back every year, and nothing bothers it, seriously, because it's in the mint family. There's another First Love Veronica, and Halcyon hosta just behind that. More Juga. This is a really tall astilbe that has bloomed already. I love astilbes, but gosh, they only bloom for a few weeks. That is a first year penstemon. That's a hummingbird magnet. It's not blooming much right now, but it'll get a lot bigger. This is a lemon thread false cypress. This will get 4 by 4 feet and it will get more gold. Kind of like weeping looking too. I needed some evergreen back there. So this is a path that I just put into the back part of the property. Has an iris on each side, Sun King on the left. That's a kaboom Siberian iris. And just behind the Sun King there is a false indigo baptisia that'll get 4 by 4 vase-shaped blue flowers in the spring. Let me show you this path I just put in. I took about 8 or 9 hostas, just like the run-of-the-mill variegated hosta, and cut it into like almost 40. And I lined this path. They don't look right this year. They'll look good next year. But I just wanted to suppress the weeds and the buckthorn and just like as a transition to the back part of the property. Let me put a picture in what this looked like in January. It used to be all really dense buckthorn and they just plowed it to the ground and mulched it up. So this area we're going to leave more natural. We're going to plant a bunch of natives. There's already a bunch of natives back there, but I already planted some swamp milkweed. I'm going to add some Joe Pye weed. Gosh, there's already like fern, Solomon seal, there's meadow rue, there's goldenrod. There's all sorts of gorgeous stuff popping up once you get rid of that buckthorn. We've got a little bench back there. These are aspen trees. Yeah, so I just did that about 2 weeks ago. Happy with that. We're just taking it bite by bite, you know. It's a big project. There's a little fire pit there, and we're burning those brush piles. So there's like a depression back here. It's like wetlands. So there's some canary grass, and there's a bunch of aspen trees in the very back. So this gets wet where the grass is in the spring, but it dries out in the summer. All right, so back to the front, to the bed here. This is the more formal area, or tidy area, I guess you could call it. More ajuga. This is the burgundy glow ajuga. This is my favorite. Look at the colors on it. Blooms in the spring. Kahori dianthus. I just planted this and it kind of lost some of its blooms, but it's supposed to be a long bloomer. That's false leaf spirea. It's already bloomed. It kind of looks, it's called matcha ball. It only gets 3 by 3. And here's some of the flowers on the penstemon there. I think that's dark towers, possibly. And we got a bunch, or 4, of these snowball bush viburnums that are going to grow 8 to 10 feet tall. I'm going to prune them into tree form, and they'll have big white flowers in the spring. We got those on clearance for $5 each. And this, I'm going to take some of these hostas out because this kind of has turned into a sunbed, but this is delicious candy of the double coneflowers, kind of done blooming almost. Pearl bush right there. It'll get white flowers in the spring. And we have an astilbe that already bloomed. Just behind that, we have a little spark spirea. This is all going to change. Look at what this looked like before. See all the buckthorn back there? Yes, it's gorgeous, but we had to cut that down. And then those 2 trees fell in a storm. So this went from almost full shade to full sun. So I have to rip out all these astilbe and hosta and put them somewhere else, which is fine. I'm going to do that actually shortly after I film this video. So the next time you see this area, it'll be totally different. Now behind this area is going to be a 15-foot by 20-foot vegetable garden within the next year. We'll have that fenced in. This hosta, I think it's a Francis Williams, but I'm not sure. It did not have a tag. It's that little spark spirea. This glows in the spring like a yellow. We got a snow mound spirea in the back. It's nothing to really look at much now. It flowers in the spring, but this is Agastache or Agastache or Anise hyssop. This is a pollinator magnet, guys. Of all the flowers I have in my garden, this one attracts the most bumblebees. I counted once, just on this one plant, like 12 bumblebees at one time. And it has been blooming since I put it in just, gosh, 3 weeks ago. It's a long bloomer, so I'll keep that in there. I wanted it close to the veggie garden. This is raspberry double scoop coneflower, kind of on its way out. I think that's Summon Substance hosta. I'm not positive, but it had deer damage and it got burnt. Unfortunately, there's a juga behind that. I'll probably have to move that. This is my favorite coneflower. It's Kismet Raspberry. Great for the pollinators. Right next to it, we have a Francis Williams hosta. I'm going to split that up. And we have some Astilbe and Halcyon and another Summon Substance. And then another Astilbe. So they're done blooming. I'm going to have to move those. I just don't know where yet. I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, this Halcyon did pretty good in full sun, but it'll be a lot happier just with a little more shade. This gets the hot afternoon sun. So this is the area that I just added about a month ago. It's going to be just in front of the veggie garden, soon to be veggie garden. And our property line is just on the back of this bed where you see all that brush. That's the neighbors. So this bed gets a lot of moisture, especially in the spring. It gets almost full sun right now, but there's a golden curls willow that's going to be 20 by 20 that's going to provide a lot more shade. It's already providing some shade now. There's a stump there that we're going to get ground out where the two trees fell. And this is Royal Candles Veronica. I need to deadhead it soon. It's first year, so these are just little guys, but they will grow in a bit, and the pollinators love it. I'm going to leave this hosta here. I actually moved this hosta. This is a fragrant bouquet, and it's doing great in the full sun. So, you know, some hostas don't mind full sun. So let's try it out. This is snake root in the front here, or Simicifuga. This will get about 3 feet tall, but then the blossoms are like bottle brush blossoms on top that'll get about 5 feet tall. This is a juga. I mixed chocolate chip with burgundy glow. And then just a kaboom iris, Siberian iris behind that. And then that is a Sutherland Gold elderberry. It is loving life here. This is going to get like possibly 8 to 10 feet tall and wide. I'm going to prune it into like a tree form. And this is a toad lily, samurai. Check out the variegation on the leaves. It's like lined in yellow. They get like orchid-like flowers, and there's a couple buds right there. It'll be purple. Another Sutherland Gold elderberry just behind that. That'll provide some shade back here as well, and another toad lily on the other side of that. Now back here, these were very sickly plants when I got them. These are fiber optics button bush. Now I got these for like $6 or $7 each, and they were sickly. Like I said, chlorosis really bad. They're done blooming. You could still see the chlorosis a bit on these leaves, but gosh, they are coming back to life and they are loving it. So they're going to do just fine. These will get like 5 feet by 5 feet, each of these. They love moisture and they like sun. So it's perfect for this area. I have some hostas lined in the back of this bed, but they're kind of burnt a bit because moving them in the intense heat. And that's an Astilbe that's just done. Look at this plant. I got this on clearance. It's a clethra. I think it's Ruby Spice. I'm not sure. It did not have a tag. I got it for like $5 or $6. The blooms are so precious. I just love it. And let me show you the other side here. There's some ajuga on the ground. Yeah, I love this. I think it's going to get a lot bigger, but I'm not sure. Like I said, it didn't have a tag. Now let me show you my favorite tree. This is my showy mountain ash. Look at the berries are starting to turn orange. It's getting to be fall, you guys. Where did the time go? But I love this tree. It's going to be 20 by 20. One of my faves. So this is kind of an underwhelming area. I have plans for it in a few years, but not right now. So right here we have just some Millennium Allium and some Penstemon. Aren't those gorgeous though? You don't even have to fertilize allium. They're just amazing plants. And I believe this is Dakota Burgundy Penstemon. Second year. So it was a small plant when I first got it. That's just kind of under the deck there. So going up the wall here, we have Autumn Joy Sedum, Thunderhead Sedum, Autumn Joy Sedum, Thunderhead Sedum, Autumn Joy Sedum. Just like that. It's really hard to believe that these autumn joy sedums are going to have pink blooms very shortly. Now the thunderhead next to it is smaller. That one actually had some spider mite damage, unfortunately, but it'll bounce. It's bouncing back. But yeah, the thunderhead sedum I really like. I mean, it's got purple stems, and these blooms, when they open, will be like a dark pink, kind of like purplish. And what easy plants. Low maintenance. Perfect right next to the air conditioner. And we got some phlox. This is like the third season for this phlox. It was just a tiny little plant when I put it in, so they are growing good, and they have been blooming for a long time. Check out these blooms. I love phlox. So, very happy with those plants. Highly recommend. And I'm going to show you my lilacs. I got these lilacs years ago when they were tiny things. Let me show you a picture. It was like 4 years ago. Look at, you could barely even see them in this picture. They were 75 cents each, single stem, and now they grew into that. There's like 9 of them. So yeah, I'm happy with those. They finally bloomed. I got a lot of work to do in this yard, but that's the fun journey, and I'm happy if you guys come along for the ride. So anyways, I hope you like that August garden tour, and take care, guys, and happy gardening.